as we all know, we live in a country with inflation.
Like I say, we live in a society.
We do live in a society with a lot of inflation. But it's not something that's a recent problem in America. Would you like an example of this?
Yeah.
Okay. So the mid-2010s version of eggs, the trombone, specifically the trombone mouthpiece.
God, talk about some first world fucking problems.
A moderate price of $140. But would you believe, through a series of events, these mouthpieces jumped in price?
What caused this?
Well,
Was it Biden?
no.
I know what
They
it
went
was.
up.
It's the homosexuals.
It went up
They
in
were
price
sounding each other with these.
to almost, let me see if it's in here.
Imagine that's actually what it is.
That would be painful.
Like a bunch of gay guys just buying trombone mouthpieces to shove up their ass and be like, blow my ass, sailor man.
Which end would it hurt more to put in first, Matt?
Well, if you're blowing into it, you gotta have, like, the look, I'm not a music guy. I don't know the technical terms for all of these things.
Mm-hmm. You
But
don't know the term for mouthpiece?
Well, like, you know, they probably have gay-ass individual names for each piece of the mouthpiece where it's like, oh, this part is the phalange and this part is the gobble. So obviously it would hurt more if you put the gobble in first, but you need that to blow the air through. So obviously you put the flange in.
Matt,
Such a big man anymore now that I schooled you on trombone knowledge.
You're only moderately correct.
I got a guy the other day at D.GG because he was asking computer questions, and he was like, why isn't my computer working as good as it should? And it's like, did you remember the throttle the Grimbuses? He was like, I haven't. And it's like, yeah, sounds like you need to throttle the Grimbuses.
Okay, so there's a woman. I need to introduce you to her.
Who bought all of these? Shove them up her ass.
One
by one.
Cutting out for you.
Don't be
or
so
am I
vulgar.
cutting out?
You're talking to me or him?
Whoever can hear me.
I can hear. He sounds scared.
I know, right? He sounds like he's lost in a fucking cave.
Lundy, help me.
They put me in the bad place when I'm not on the podcast. There's no light, only fire.
I have to show you a picture of this beautiful woman who I would definitely plow the field if you catch my drift. Fucking.
Gotcha.
What's the coolest way to say that you had sex?
I don't fucking know.
So these are the mouthpieces in the price that they eventually became, which was $10,000 a piece.
That seems a bit excessive.
What is the reason for all of this? And Matt did...
We established it's the gay guys.
Yes, but Matt, it is one specific gay guy.
Andy Dick. I knew it.
This gay guy.
That is not Andy Dick.
No, but it is a gay guy.
It does involve dick, don't worry.
Why are the mouthpieces $10,000? For the answer to that question, Loud Mouthpieces has teamed up with the almighty universe to provide a free course. Dynamics 101.
It's
Dynamic economics.
It's not an answer to that question.
It explains why, literally overnight, Loud Mouthpieces became the home of the most valuable mouthpiece in the world. Click here to go directly to the course. Once you've completed the $10,000 assignment, sing Irving Berlin's lyrics to God Bless America, and we'll all be on the same page again. Loud and clear. Love, Mama Murphy.
By the way, this is the most expensive one they're talking about here, home of the $1 billion mouthpiece. Sorry, let me correct myself there.
So they're that expensive for literally no reason other than for them to say our mouthpieces are very expensive.
No, they're expensive for a reason.
Each one was melted down from one of the nails that pierced Christ's hands and feet during his execution.
There you go, Wendy.
What am I doing here? Oh, the course. Oh my god. The Almighty Universe, in cooperation with Loud Mouthpieces, presents Course 912. Dynamics 101, Dynamic Economics. At 2018, it's copyright 2018, Flying Hippo Ranch, all rights reserved. Dynamic Economic Boost Rating, proven. This transmission is intended for those who are... I'm sorry. This transmission... Are they aliens? This transmission is intended for those who understand basic economic principles and have followed them successfully for many decades with proven consistent results.
Shit.
If you are...
I guess I'm out, guys.
If you are of that understanding, this will be a refreshing reinforcement of those values and principles. If you do not have a basic understanding of common sense economic principles, this real-world example, experienced by a real-world family, a happily married Christian husband, wife, and their family, will bring you up to volume on Murphy's Law of Destruction and Mama Murphy's Constitutional Fortress, which saved the day, the marriage, the family, the business, and the country.
Now, notice that she said husband. And
Yeah.
Matt, go ahead and hit the foreshadowing button real quick while I switch tabs.
Foreshadowing is a narrative device. Sometimes foreshadowing is relatively obvious.
The week of June 15th, 2018, there was a sudden dramatic rise in mouthpiece prices on the loudmouthpieces.com website. Before we get into that discussion, a brief summary history will bring newcomers up to volume on who we are, what we do, and most important of all, why we do what we do. Loud Mouthpieces is the manufacturer of the best stainless steel low brass mouthpieces in the world. In business since 2005, our mouthpieces are loved and the most favored mouthpiece of students, musicians, and performers literally all over the world. Competitively priced, rocket science perfection. The Loud Mouthpiece line of low brass mouthpieces is and has been the dynamic leader of quality, precision, and principled value craftsmanship for over 13 years. 13 years consequentially being the cutoff point for when my husband will be attracted to you. We are a family-owned mouthpiece company. Family as defined by the traditional Judeo-Christian values of one man, one woman, holy marriage, a love, honor, cherished lifestyle which so far has brought great children into the world, awesome grandchildren, and all sorts of music, performances, community, goodwill, and good faith. And yes,
baby! That's what I've been waiting for. That's what it's all about. Woo!
I'm just happy about their great marriage in no way will fall apart by the end of this episode.
providing for each other, our children, and future generations, our happy home team is at the heart of everything we do at Loud. Got it? Okay. Now let's get everyone up to volume on a few fundamental definitions. Why? Keep saying up to volume. I don't understand.
It's one of her favorite phrases, per se.
Yeah, she's just a dumb person that heard a word she liked, and now she's using it constantly. Like that's not how you use that word.
Discipline, noun, a branch of knowledge, typically one studied in higher education. Verb, train oneself to do something in a controlled or habitual way. Origin from Latin disciplina, instruction, knowledge. Self-control, noun, the ability to control oneself, in particular one's emotions and desires, or the expression of them in one's behavior, especially in difficult situations.
Read the source here. It's very important that our brains...
Source, New Oxford American Dictionary.
I'm glad you clarified.
The inquiries so far have been interesting. There were several students, parents, band directors, and professionals mulling the decision to purchase one or several Loud mouthpieces on our website when the dynamic price increase went into effect. Those friends and fans experienced, along with us in real-time reality, the direct effect of the progressive agenda of forced change affecting marriages, families, and small businesses across our nation. Those students, parents, band directors, and professionals literally could not believe their eyes. The price change was so dynamic, and if it were actually true, would mean they could no longer even consider purchasing one or several of our mouthpieces, because overnight, a simple mouthpiece had become financially unattainable for the vast majority of our friends and clients.
But why would that happen? I'm gonna need you to put some stank on a certain word in this whenever you get to it. I hope in my heart you know which one to do.
Nonetheless, the policies, violations, and attempted coup d'etat of forced constitutional crises during the greedy, accelerated political thuggery of the last
Attaboy.
10 years or so.
Sorry to interrupt. I think you might have skipped a page or two, Ghost. This does not feel like the lead on from the last page.
Nope.
Oh no, there it is. Yeah. Huh.
Well, let's think
shit.
about the time frame, Matt. So, political thuggery the last 10 years, and this was in 2018. So, it had to be something that started in 2008. I'm trying to think of things that started in 2008, but I just can't think of what specifically would be the political thuggery.
Oh, the
So-
Xbox One was released in 2008.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, that's what she's referring to.
I thought the Xbox One was in 2013 or 2012.
The
Oh,
X-Zone, as some of us called it at the time,
Yeah, Matt, I think you just might
has
be-
resulted in this
As
fellow
was the
American
South.
conversation between an all-American CEO of a low-brass mouthpiece company who also happens to be a marching band and drum corps mama, and her neighbors, friends, fellow Americans, and her good, decent, loud performers. Students, band directors, professional musicians, the vast majority also American citizens, all of us
Except for-
just living our good faith lives.
Except for a couple of the Mexicans that live down the street that we just kind of apparently look the other way on.
Sorry, there's no period here, so this whole page is just one long sentence.
Look, if there's one thing we know, Mexicans hate the trombone. It's never in a mariachi band.
All of us just living our good faith lives and expecting reasonable prices for reasonable performance and the mutually beneficial reward for all that reasonable exchange. As one on the front lines of this assault, I can tell you with full experience and authority, there is nothing reasonable about the forced destruction of marriages and families, and the way the strategy was executed would be laughable if it were not so serious and catastrophically destructive.
Okay,
Now, it's
The gays are involved.
I'm even more fucking confused now.
Gay marriage, Matt.
Matt, all you have to do is look at this.
Look at this man.
Just look at that man. Look at that
This
beautiful man.
50-year-old man with more rosacea than fucking anyone I've ever seen.
He's the key to all of this. Don't worry.
Mama, what in the world are you talking about?
Thank you. At least she's a little bit cognitive of like, okay, gave him a bit of my crazy spill. I might be losing some of them.
The main summary of questions we're getting since we added the new destroy marriages and families tax that was levied against our family-owned business is this. We looked at the website last week and the mouthpieces were $150 plus shipping. Now they're $10,000 each and your homepage says you even have $1 billion mouthpiece. We want to buy a mouthpiece and some of us were planning on outfitting our whole low brass sections, but the pricing is wrong. Can you fix that so we can conveniently order a mouthpiece and get back to playing music again? Now, you have to remember, these are good, decent people living in America, in a nation proclaiming, "In God we trust." They might be Christian, they might not be. But generally speaking, they are salt-of-the-earth people who just want a great mouthpiece to play tuba or trombone in a high school drum corps or college band, with even a few professional players fanatically also ready to become one of the loud.
You know, and it's funny. It's funny that they're so anti-gay when you can break down their name to lesbian occultists using drugs. Not very Christian of them, is it?
Lots of ugly dykes.
The weed is starting to hit me, by the way.
One, do you do one?
Loads of unanimous dicks.
You just piggybacked off of mine.
Yeah, and mine made less sense.
Lundy obfuscates unceremoniously.
Loving old ugly dykes.
The damn at the end.
I had to get it in there while he was trying to fuck with me.
So, Mama, why did the price jump so much overnight? Boys and girls, what happens when the cost to produce a product or service goes up? Does the everyday business providing that product or service just absorb the additional costs and keep the prices the same? No.
Lundy originated useless dialogue.
For the vast majority of small businesses across the country, the cost of the product or service goes up too. The added cost is passed along to the consumer. In this case, our loud mouthpieces, clients, and fans, our extended loud family. So here is today's Dynamics 101 lesson in respect, border security, illegal immigration, and unconstitutional violation of our fundamental rights as United States citizens, regardless of race, color, creed, or religion. For those so concerned about foreign illegal immigrants pouring across our borders into America and putting a drain on our resources and economy, as the political football so loves to get tossed.
It was like Terrence Howard with tits. I would say without a dick, but he has a micro penis. It's basically a clit.
And less math.
Those foreign illegal immigrants are the least of our concerns. Why?
Everybody get ready. Everybody, you're never going to believe it.
I hope the next one is just the biggest, just fucking F slur I've ever seen. Just 20 font, just bolded. Oh, it's not. Oh, well, I could dream.
Because there is an illegal invasion of marriages and families occurring every day in this country that no one has the brass to talk about. That's why this mama is a loud voice of steel. Stainless steel. This woman weighs 400 pounds. How
Also,
is
stainless steel isn't that great for a lot of things.
She's being very punny right now. You won't understand. She's getting down to brass tacks.
How is it that in America, a mere child, a 21-year-old college student, the same age as our own college-age children, could possibly think it could be perfectly okay to seduce, entrap, and compromise a happily married husband, dad, and college band director who just happened to be the performing headliner for our family-owned Mouthpiece company with our two college-age children in the same band class?
Matt, can you go ahead and hit the second
foreshadow?
foreshadow?
Device.
Yeah, go ahead and...
Sometimes foreshadowing is relatively obvious.
I have to do some creative editing on this one so I can show them every time.
All right. So is this a gay student relationship or just some like girl, some college girl? I'm wondering.
There's not a lot in this.
It'd be funnier if it was gay.
It would be from the best of my knowledge. He's a fag. To the best of my knowledge, I'm pretty sure this is just a very, in a lot of ways, it's just a based guy, technically speaking, but I digress.
Okay.
You know, it'd be really funny. Trans woman. No, trans man. Just like, I want to fuck a dude, but I want him to have a pussy. Like Buck Angel.
Think about it. You're sitting in band class. Mama Murphy, owner of Loud Mouthpieces, is the class booster mom. Her two college-age children are in the same class with you. Her daughter is sitting right next to you, and her son is sitting directly behind you. Her husband of several decades is on the podium conducting this particular college band. So it's not like you're not surrounded by the entire Murphy family. What part of this natural and fundamental border security thought process was missing from your onboard navigational system? I mean, the thought should have been, I guess that male, literally old enough to be my dad, is off limits for any sort of sexual gratification because 1, he's married, 2, his children, the same age as me, are sitting right here around me, and 3, Mama Murphy, owner of Loud Mouthpieces, is this college band's awesome super booster, the original strong protector of the homeland, and will absolutely do whatever it takes to stand her ground and defend her marriage, children, assets, businesses, and household.
God,
Yo, Matt.
imagine just like somebody fucking your significant other and it breaking your brain this badly.
Matt, I'm gonna call you out a little bit.
Alright.
I'm kind of surprised you haven't made the connection and started doing Fallout jokes yet.
Oh yeah, Mama Murphy, the drug addict.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's from a bad Fallout game.
Yeah. I always give her the drugs so she ODs.
You know what happens?
Look, you
if
get
don't?
experience. Yeah, you get
Yeah,
XP.
you get experience from it, so whatever. You see, boys and girls, that's the illegal immigration into our marriages and families that all Americans should be defending against, and in full common purpose, righteously, unflinchingly stand. The good news is, because I refuse to surrender my husband, children, business, and assets to that disrespectful, unbelievably undisciplined behavior, our marriage and family weathered that storm, fought off all that stupidity, and we actually moved to a new location 3 states away so we could continue our lives together, continue building great mouthpieces
You know what? Go.
and products, and let go of the negative stupidity of that sort of uncivilized ignorance that upon graduation actually decided to work in the same city, in the same music industry, fundamentally making life exponentially intolerable, causing us to defer and let the silly graduate work in a city we as a family had established, friends, business relationships, and community for decades. That's the grace our entire family gave to a 21-year-old student who wanted to make it in the music industry. Did we get to move for free? Did some government program swoosh in and say, oh my gosh, you were invaded by an uncivilized creature, and you're just moving to live your life in peace again. Here's a boatload of money for you to continue. Nope. That move to save our marriage, our family business, cost us our house, which would have been paid for by now, our life savings, and accumulated local network of clients and friends. But through it all, we weathered that college-educated stupidity and rebuilt our businesses and work in our new location.
Matt, are you ready to truly be a patriot?
Well, I do see she's bringing back the all caps, so yes.
But here's where our In God We Trust family's experience ran right into a full-blown multi-front anti-American agenda campaign. That
Bastard.
good faith relocation to another state in these United States of America moved us directly into an area that was an active Cold War front line with enclaves of anarchists who illegally and unconstitutionally interpreted American freedom as a no-holds-barred, we can take whatever we want, and if we don't like it, we'll throw it away philosophy and apply it to women and children.
I'm kind of saving it because I'm looking ahead and it's like, oh, there's some other things I would rather comment on right now, Goat.
And the technologies they were utilizing were like nothing the average peaceful, everyday American had ever experienced, and only very few had even bothered to study or learn about their weekly devotions.
She's
They call
fucking.
Christians.
I'm sorry, but it's like, what, you think they're using the fucking shit that gave people Havana syndrome on your shitty little fucking family? They're using the lasers to turn our children gay.
They're trying to turn
Yeah,
all of
it's
our
like-
trombone mouthpieces into cock rings.
They put nanites in my husband's blood to make him cheat on me with a 19-year-old with a pussy so tight it could crush coal into diamonds.
What's
Do you
a
think
classic?
the husband incorporated the trumpets into the sex stuff?
He shoved into her pussy and then he blew so hard he looked like Louis Armstrong.
Like he just gave her the trumpet and was like, now blow that trumpet as hard as you can into my ass.
Man, what do you think about that? Someone, a woman giving a blowjob, but she's making the Louis Armstrong puffed out cheeks thing while she's doing it.
I see pubes of gray,
I see
moles of
your,
brown,
I see your
skin
dick.
so wrinkly,
It goes in my mouth. I suck on
and
it.
I says to myself,
I'm really gay.
But I'm really gay. He does.
Yeah.
He does
And
sing
down
pretty
Randy
hard.
Newman. Doopy doopy doo. I'm in the pretty. I like to
yo,
have
it's just
things.
eating an apple. Now she's chewing
That's not just a
on
Ray
it.
Newman thing. No, I'm sorry. Armstrong had a little bit of a retard voice
Sucking
when
on
he
the
sang.
penis.
You can't deny it.
Fucking my dick.
Really, Lundy? You're gonna insult one of our greatest black
Insult?
musicians on this,
Insult?
the day of the birthday of the King of the Blacks.
I'm
That's
sorry,
right.
Matt. I didn't
It's
realize that you thought that being one of God's chosen
That's right.
is an insult.
You're the one
Matt-
being a
Matt's
racist
right,
right
it's-
now. Man, we had we're in a really weird cul-de-sac right now.
I'm very confused. That's what's going on.
We're in like the cul-de-sac that was built over a super fun site where it's just like, why do all these kids have like the wrong number of fingers and limbs?
How about? Yeah,
Are we
go
good
ahead,
for me to
bitch.
get back to it?
Yeah.
They call
By the way,
Christians.
this is what the
Okay.
woman was talking about.
Yeah, this
Sorry.
is what she's thinking the entire time. If you take every letter from every third sentence,
I'm sorry, Lundy. That was rude of me. Go ahead.
Lundy, go ahead, please continue. The floor is yours. By all means,
They call
please,
Christians.
please. I beg you to continue, please. If you do not mind. Thank you so much for continuing. I appreciate it. Go on. On with the show. The audience beckons, as I say. The beckoning audience, as I say. The audience.
I literally leaned closer to the microphone at the moment you said the audience, and I backed off the microphone.
I implore you to continue.
I'm gonna get myself some fucking tea. They call Christians bloodsuckers, suckers, easily duped, will believe anything, and by the time the destruction is upon them, one or more of their family has been captured and turned against the team. Christianity has served us well, one captor gloated.
Turning into a Saturday morning cartoon.
This is
So-
like literally some 1930s Fu Manchu level writing of like the evil Chinaman was like, the Christian's morality will make him weak against my devious Asianness.
So because of that student compromise of our lead performer, my husband, those anarchists, psychologically pummeled
can
him
we-
unmercifully
Need to pause for a
and
moment and look at the poor
relentlessly.
victim, real quick.
Mm-hmm. My man just wanted some
Poor
college
bastard.
pussy. All right, that's it. That's all he wanted. He didn't ask for all
Look at
this.
what the gays and the queers and the liberals did.
He didn't want
what
all
they did
this
to
shit.
Sometimes foreshadowing
There's
is
no
relatively
foreshadowing
obvious.
anymore, man. It's right on the. This is after. This is what I like to call after.
Oh, we're
This is what I
we're
like
just
to
in
call
the
after
void.
shade.
Worthless! Worthless! Traitor to your wife and children!
So much unrelenting warfare eventually broke him down to the point of despair, and as is the strategy, compromise. If you leave now, we will give you everything you want. We'll make you famous. You can have all the women you want. You've already cheated on your wife. Might as well have all sorts of women. You're through. You've done too much to ever reconcile or restore your marriage, family, and business. The biggest favor you can do for the wife you adore and love is to leave her. She'll find someone else, and your children will be much better off. So, after a little over 2.5 years, terrified, broken in will, my husband fled the area, literally abandoning and stranding me in a new location. I love
What
that
a
he's just like,
fucking
my
clown
husband
show.
in all of this. My poor husband.
My poor fat husband.
I imagine this was the second. This was the second the tip of his dick touched that
thought you-
19-year-old pussy.
I thought you were gonna say this is the second time he's had sex.
To be fair, Matt, it was 21-year-old pussy, so much more mature and
Look, 19-year-old pussy's funnier.
I like that.
True.
I like the fact it's like my loving, beautiful husband, who he was never a scumbag or anything, but then the power of the pussy just took over, and then every woman in the world just
Yeah.
wanted to fuck him.
This young Jezebel unlocked something, making it so that the whole world was offering him endless pussy. That's something most clients, customers, and everyday citizens don't understand. During that initial time in the new state, when we in good faith restarted our life and businesses to live in peace again, we did absorb those costs of relocation and only had a slight increase in mouthpiece pricing due to an industry-wide increase in raw materials cost, even though we had to pay for new driver's licenses, new license tags, new car insurance. It doesn't transfer state to state, so even though we had awesome coverage with one local company for over 20 years, we had to start all over with another insurance company at a higher rate because we were temporarily no longer homeowners. We paid for new business licenses to comply with state sales tax requirements and updated our voter registration cards so we could vote as responsible citizens in our new area. I mean, the common sense plan was to purchase a house here and reestablish our asset and business building strategies to continue our multiple decades of proven financial strategy, investment, and success. Our son,
I'm gonna
now
be
in
honest, and I'm gonna keep ragging on her. But this is one of the few fucking times on this show it's like, you know what? I actually feel bad for the subject.
Yeah.
And you know what? Thankfully, unlike the other times that has happened, I'm pretty sure she's not going to be revealed to be a pedophile by the end of this.
Safe bet. Our son, now in his early 20s, even moved here too. That's how solid we were as a married couple and as a family in our determination, love, and faithfulness
We're gay to
to
be in a
each
couple with your son, but all right.
other.
I believe the term is thruple.
It was only after my husband, under extraordinary occult persecution, fled and left us here that I learned the area where we had settled to continue our loving life together not only had the highest divorce rate of any county in the entire state during that time, but also the third highest suicide rate.
So, have either of you ever read
Yes.
Paradise Lost?
No, I actually haven't read it.
It's pretty decent. It's a hard read though, but anyways, there's a part in it, right? The first time Satan goes down to try to tempt Adam and Eve into eating the fruit, right, Lundy? He comes down and instead of a snake, he disguises himself as a frog. And Eve is sleeping, and he just literally goes right next to Eve's ear and is just like, eat the apple, eat the apple, eat the apple, eat the apple, eat the apple. And then one of the archangels comes in and sees him, and she's just like, get the fuck out of here, man. And he's like, oh shit.
It just hops away.
I'm imagining that's what happened to her husband. One of these occultist anarchists used the dark power of their god, Karl Marx, to turn into a little tiny frog. Like, leave your wife, leave your wife, leave your wife, leave your wife, leave your wife.
So yeah, this
I only recently found out that last statistic concerning the disproportionate suicide rate, that is what prompted this change in attitude, strategy, and presentation. The Bible, yes, I do actually read it, live
but can
by
you
it,
spell it?
and know its truth. The Bible warns. And at the same time encourages. That's my bad. I'm fucking retarded. I just turned the map for a second.
Yeah.
Encourages.
Hey, Baduba, we don't occult the practice.
In the practice of evil intent, shrewd is deception. In the practice of righteous, noble intent,
I like
shrewd
the idea of one day
is no one's fool. The only human ever to walk the earth as sacrifice for the evil side of free will was Jesus Christ. The only one.
Biba, you Baduba gaslighting.
Everyone has their threshold when it comes to their friends and what exactly will cause them to
One day has a panic. One day has a panic
I can't
attack
tell you what's
eternally
right or
every
wrong
time
there.
we make a joke as expense. Afraid that this next one will this next
I
one
actually
will be
made
the
the
silver
perfect
bullet
meme
that
for this
finally kills him.
He'll give you a heart attack.
He's just sitting there. Cut it out!
You know what this reminds me of, right?
What?
So, one day, me and my sister, we were like, I was probably like 9, she was probably like 8, right?
Yeah.
we were like going up and down our grandmother's house with this giant inflatable smiley face guy that we won at like the state fair earlier, like that week.
Yeah.
And we kept doing it so long. My granddad, just out of nowhere, fucking just go, will you two fucking cut that out? And me and my sister just start cackling at him. I'm just saying, Lundy's my granddad right now, and me and Goat are just skipping down the hallway with our big inflatable friend.
When I was like probably 13, 14, somewhere around there, I used to go to the video store all the time, and I rented what's the Jim Carrey movie where he's not allowed to Liar Liar? Is it that one or Yes Man?
Yeah,
No,
literally the one with the
I can't
actual
remember.
name
Which
of the
one's the one
premise
where he has to
and
talk
the
down
title.
Luis
Yeah.
Guzman from jumping? I think
I
it's
think
Yes
Liar
Man.
Liar,
but I'm
isn't
not.
it?
Anyway, it's the movie where he's singing the "Step Back from That Ledge" song. And I remember I was like 13 or 14 and I was autistically rewinding and playing that over and over again. It was like 6 or 7 in the morning. I was by myself in the living room just playing that over and over again for like literally probably an hour. Like I'm just sitting in front of the TV doing that. And then eventually I do it one more time and I hear the door slam from across the house and my dad comes running in his underwear. He picked up the remote and threw it.
Just watch the rest of the movie, damn it.
A small moment of my autism.
That is the message the corporate church has missed entirely. And why some of the worst environments of psychological abuse, physical abuse, and ignorant crusading have been perpetrated by mechanisms set up to mimic the teachings of Christ, but never actualize into
This
reality.
woman's dangerously
That
close
which
to being
only
based.
Jesus Christ can do. So effectively, when those forces shoving change into our lives caused my husband to abandon me, our children, our businesses, and assets, huge economic taxing was the result. Tax. Verb. Impose a heavy demand on someone or something. Make heavy demands on
Can you source that,
someone's
please?
powers or resources. The new Oxford American Dictionary.
Okay, thank you. I was about to shit my pants.
Instantly, the price of everything
My
doubled,
my
as there were now
my
two
husband
households
fucked
to sustain.
a college freshman.
And as the
My
force
entire family fell apart. My trombone pieces are no longer expensive. Thanks, Obama.
As the forced separation and sanctions continued, the deficit began to accelerate exponentially. Literally, the price of everything, the office space, the warehousing, the staff, raw materials, doubled.
I don't know why, but that second line when Lundy was reading it, I was hearing it as Bane voice from Dark Knight Returns.
God damn it. Thanks a lot, Matt.
And then to further shove economic slum into the center of
Expect
heartland
my
America.
expect my
I-
husband's penis in the wreckage.
Seen through the eyes of evil as nothing more than a disposable wife. Not a CEO of a successful business with responsibilities to our clients, customers, good faith business partners, the managers,
You talking about
The-
them
the
laymans?
lathe workers, the polishing and inspection workers, all with families of their own. I was restricted from attending events and gatherings normal for promotion, marketing, and goodwill of our company by forced dissolution paperwork that contained a boilerplate restraining order. I was assured by my Christian husband that it meant nothing and was in every document of its kind. But unfortunately, in the hands of an occult compromised husband, that restraint wording eventually turned into a disrespectful, unconstitutional, corrupted thought process of, wow, a judge just gave me permission to betray my faithful wife, children, business partners, and all their good faith, and walk away scot-free because my wife trusted me and didn't
My
ask for
husband's
anything.
new witch bride
Because we
gave him a
Christians don't believe in
crystal made out
divorce.
of a solidified container of her pussy juice in order to get him to somehow think I'm a crazy bitch.
You have to fucking.
If he's
Weirdest
already
fucking
like
thoughts, dude.
100% in on the I'll fuck the younger, hotter woman. I feel like there's a little bit more of a push into that territory than just attractiveness, and I think we're getting a pretty good understanding as to what was the what was it that pointed his dowsing rod to head towards the oasis.
I know reconciliation of our marriage and family is her goal and should be mine too, but the occult voices that caused me to move back to the city where that invading student was and actually arranged contact with her when I got back to town, Those forces led me to believe that boilerplate restraining order conveniently included in those documents I filed against my faithful wife must mean I can ban my wife by threat of arrest from participating in trade shows, conferences, performance events, and family gatherings too. Pretty much anywhere I, as the one filing against her good faith and honor, don't want her to be. Especially if I want to take those evil spirit voices up on their offer and have as many women as I want, and just completely throw my good faith example of a great husband and dad completely into the hands of a random
I'm gonna
woman
be honest.
who would actually hook up with a man
He's
over
kind of
50,
awesome right now. I'm not
even
gonna
Can
lie.
though
you-
his
He kind of is. But can you imagine being someone who's like actually interested in purchasing a bunch of like bulk
Yeah.
trombone mouthpieces, and you see like, why is all of them like $10,000? What's going? Oh, there's a thing that explains this. Let me click on that. How do you think they would feel it by this point?
I think they'd probably click off by page 3, 4, maybe 5. They probably skim the first few pages that kind of just go over some boilerplate, like fucking definitions and shit, and they're just like, where is this going? Even though his faithful wife of over 30 years is continually on social media, email, phone, and even regular mail, letting everyone know and their friends and family back home this has all been an attack, it's occult warfare, and her number one goal is
Oh, that's even
reconciliation,
more-
restoration, and
that's even
reunion
more
of our
comforting.
marriage and family.
I think
I don't know what
I
you're
feel
talking
like
about.
I
would
know
love
why
if
the
my
restraining
former
order
betrothed-
was in there.
Yeah, getting mad at my new wife
Saying that I've
Amethyst
been abducted by the occult
because
and
her and her
corrupted.
fucking invaders in backpack got my cock really hard.
Imagine being at a trade show, and you're just like, "Oh, hey, Bill, I haven't seen you since the last one. What's up? You still doing the bamboo flute reeds?" Like, "Oh yeah, okay, cool. Oh, have you seen what happened to Mama Murphy? Like, she went crazy." And then it just pans over, and she's like, "That was big titty witches stole my husband."
Oh fuck, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, the only reason I even agreed to signing those vile documents was to protect Loud from total destruction in the hands of a corrupt legal and judicial system that would have totally illegally decimated us.
Hey,
I was told
just
that if I did not at least
just
go
a heads
through
up,
the
I gotta,
process of the paperwork, I would forfeit
make
everything.
the thing bigger so I can get to the picture of her. So I have to back out for a second. So if it makes it small for a little bit, you might have to strain your
Gotcha.
eyes.
Loud would have been surrendered to a compromised husband who could then have hooked up again with that invading student or any other random female who cared nothing of faith, family, or good, decent American principles and values. That was totally and completely unacceptable as a family-owned Christian household and company. And personally, as an all-American instrumentalist, CEO, and band mom, when evil embodies a man, it does not care that the former occupant of that human form was a good, decent man under the Christian banner.
I like how she puts the same level of weight on Band
By
Mom
the
that
way,
people would usually put on. Like,
just so
I
we're
was
clear,
a
this is
veteran.
her.
Yeah.
She looks like French Stewart in a wig.
Oh, she doesn't look anything like I thought she would.
No, this is
I thought
this
she'd
makes
be way
sense in
back.
terms like a California dumb bitch.
No, she's basically what I thought she would look
This is
like.
a hippie.
Now, I get it. So they've been married for 30 years. I'm looking at her and I'm imagining her 30 years younger, and I'm just no, yeah. I get why he fucked a college student now. That's probably
Also, too,
just-
this is
he's
a type of
remembering what
crazy.
Yeah.
This is a type of crazy she is espousing that only skinny white women do.
I mean, she has PhDs in quantum harmonics.
Yeah, this isn't
You
fat
forgot the
white.
best
This
one.
isn't fat white
The
bitch crazy.
irrefutable super genius title.
Bioship technology, elemental force, electromagnetic radiance. Yeah. Founding mother and tutorial fellow at the Almighty University. Yeah. Oh my god. The capitals.
Yeah.
Go up a little bit more. No. Sorry, go down. And that is why that same area where we moved to continue our good, decent life, marriage, family, and businesses together has the third highest suicide rate in the state. Because it's at that point when evil has had its fill. The good, decent man is allowed to wake up and fully witness what he, with his own hands, has allowed evil to do through him by
He probably
making a
blew the
compromise
fast load of his
against
life.
good faith
Whenever he fucking...
and trust. Please, if there are any noble
You know what?
people,
Maybe he was just like, I just want normal fucking sex. This bitch wants me to like, because she might be the one who wants him to do like the crazy crystal fucking shit and be like, okay, I need you to hit
you to smash
this amethyst into my cunt with this
smash
little
this
tiny
dong
hammer.
while I read
So the
Ephesians.
piezoelectricity. It's just like, there was just this fucking checked out chick at the college who's like,
She
wanna
actually
fuck?
legitimate. This does
It's
look
like,
like a bitch.
yes,
that
please,
Her
thank
way
you.
of dirty talking would just be reciting the entirety of the genealogy in Genesis.
I feel like she's like, hey, you want to do something spicy tonight? And he's like, yeah, sure. And she just fucking, her eyes roll back. She picks up a bushel of fucking roses and just starts fucking flagellinating herself, speaking in tongues. He's just like,
Yeah, let's
God
call
damn
her
it.
the burning bush.
please, if there are any noble people left on earth, please pray for my husband. As the sole owner
Yeah.
of Loud, as I've always been, I have an entire
timely
warehouse of
reference,
people
Matt.
counting on me for part of their income.
See, I was going to do that earlier, but you would have expected that interruption when we were
But please,
intentionally
again,
interrupting.
Lundy, please continue.
Yeah. Because my
I ask
husband,
that you continue, please. Go on.
because my husband in our Christian household was the leader, his compromise and abandonment abandoned them too. Every mouthpiece that we produce
That
and
mouthpiece
ship
had
has
a
a whole
name.
team of people who show up every day in good faith, trusting that we're
This mouthpiece could have been a person. This mouthpiece could have been a person. This mouthpiece could
Every
have been a person.
mouthpiece is sacred.
trusting that we're all working together with the same goals, the same general purpose to make a great mouthpiece, provide good value, and have great fans who love us and support what we do. Our managers and line workers have children, spouses, mortgages,
No,
car
she's, like,
payments, and
theoretically
assets,
putting
and
herself
are
up on the
counting on
cross
our
the
family
entire
to make
time.
it worth their while too. So now that America, the wayward church, the lawyers, and the judiciary have all worked together to make sure no-fault divorce or irreconcilable difference dissolution is forced against innocence, fidelity, and good faith, as CEO of Loud Mouthpieces, I have no choice but to pass those costs along to our loud performers, those students, parents, band directors, and professionals who choose to play loud, not just because we produce a great stainless steel mouthpiece, but because we actually stand in defense of all that the majority of our clients and fans hold dear and treasure too.
You know, if I had $1 billion, I would have bought the $1 billion mouthpiece for shits and giggles.
Yeah. Their spouses, children, and families. When a compromised husband can ban by unconstitutional threat of arrest a CEO from participating and marketing her very business that in good faith lifted him up in performance, notoriety, the entire purpose and protection of law is corrupt. Loud should not have to hire legal counsel to ensure these rights. These rights are self-evident, and as an American company and American citizen are protected by the United States Constitution. If I did go the way of so many business owners, falling into that very
things
trap, thoughts of Hobby Lobby,
they've
Chick-fil-A come to mind.
compromised on all of their
Totally
values.
baseless.
Yeah, yeah. Hobby Lobby literally fucking stealing artifacts from the
Chick-fil-A
Middle
going
East for their
into
Bible museum.
Anti-gay charities.
Totally baseless. Frivolous lawsuits.
They do make
Meant to
good,
economically
politics
tax and
sauce,
harass
we'll give
good,
them that.
decent families and businesses. These companies were large enough at the time to absorb such excessive aggression.
Yeah, I do like the waffle
No, the
fries from Chick,
Polynesian
but then
sauce is
again,
sweet and
Chick-fil-A is the
sour,
only
too.
one who really does waffle fries.
What other place could do waffle fries that you'd be like, this is probably better?
Do they
I'm
have
not a
to
big fan of
have
fast food fries in the first place.
Hold
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, because
They
they
are-
usually are
they
just
are all pretty
they
bad.
suck. Yeah,
They're not that
You know,
bad.
Wendy's used to have really good fries like a decade ago.
yeah.
You know
Well,
whose
like-
fries suck dick? It's
No,
McDonald's.
Wendy's fries fucking suck.
I mean, I live in an area
I-
with like a lot of bad Wendy's, so I can't be an arbiter on this, but I have noticed like
I
the
always
Wendy's
die
fries
on
are
the
like
hill that McDonald's
these are a
has the
lot
worst fries
soggier
of
than they
any,
used to be.
Fast food place, and that tends to. Yeah, I know that you can join everyone on the fucking West
You're fucking
Coast.
crazy.
Goat is mostly, honestly, Goat is
McDonald's
honestly mostly right on
and-
this.
No, you're both fucking wrong.
No, because here's the thing with McDonald's fries: you have to eat them hot.
We got into a
That's
whole
fast
screaming
food.
match about this one.
Matt.
No, like there's. Well, here's the thing, right? This is one
Yeah,
of the
yeah, yeah.
reasons.
Oh my god, this is the New York yelling match again.
This is one of
I
the
also
reasons
like that.
I prefer Burger King
Mm-hmm.
over McDonald's.
That's right.
Is because the Whopper reheats better in a microwave than a Big Mac does.
That's right.
Did you? I was gonna
What sort
say.
of psychopaths are reheating their fast food? Eat it when you get it. That's the point of it.
Lundy, I live in a town where the closest fucking McDonald's
I was
is
gonna say,
15
did you
minutes
guys
away,
get the-
and the closest Burger King
Did you
is
guys
45
get the spar
minutes
the
away.
first time when we had? The
Eat
30
it
minute
when
now?
you
I
get
can't
it.
Remember? Yeah, you guys go ahead and have this little go ahead and duel. For
I don't
the-
think so.
I don't think Matt was a part of that now.
Like
No,
2
because
years ago.
fucking, like this is an argument Goat and I had in New York. Was it last year or the year before? Yeah, 2 years ago, where we're fucking talking about fast food, and the subject of reheating them in the fucking microwave comes up, and I'm just sitting here losing my fucking mind because I'm like, who the fuck does that? And he's like, what do you mean? Everybody fucking does that. I'm like, what? No, you don't do that. That's not. It's always worse reheated. It is always bad. Fast food is meant to be eaten when you get it. That is the point of it. That is the literal main reason fast food exists.
You're
It's
just a
for it to
big
be
baby.
made and you just shove it in your mouth.
Here's the thing, Lundy. Sometimes people go places and then they bring me back food, and that is dinner. What am I supposed to eat? The fucking lukewarm Whopper?
Sorry,
Or
my microphone
I'm
wasn't
not
working
supposed
there.
to just
Counterpoint
put it in the
agrees.
fucking microwave?
Just got
What is the?
Matt.
You know we
saying
don't gotta do
it
that,
takes
that
away the
shit around
fast
here.
food.
It doesn't.
Well, then
Because
you.
I get DoorDash and that
have a
shit's still
fast
hot when it
driver.
gets to me.
Yeah, because their lives depend on them
Yeah, it's
getting
the
you
way-
that food so they can get the little
What?
The
tip.
same thing with Uber Eats. There's no difference there.
Lundy
They're
has the
same
way
fucking
too fast
service.
shrimp
I'm not
delivery
using
from
both
Family
either
Guy,
of these.
where it's just they're barely cooked. It's like, come on.
Matt, you know what you should tell them to do? You should tell them, hey, if you're going to be getting fast food, I appreciate that. Can you make that the last stop?
Again, Lundy, 45 minutes away from Burger King. That can be
Right?
the last stop.
Why would
It's still
you
gonna take him 45 minutes.
Just go to the McDonald's if it's so much closer.
I hate McDonald's. They're gross.
Burger King reheated is gross.
Look, I have two options here. if I want actual, like, warm, hot fast food when somebody's bringing
By
something.
the way, Hardee's has waffle
McDonald's and
fries, and they're
Hardee's.
not that bad.
And both of those are, like, gross. Do they?
Oh my god.
Yes, they do.
See, I don't go to the Hardee's in my town because I don't know what it is, but
See, now
they
you're
hire
giving me
a lot of
a
mentally
place to eat
retarded
whenever we
people.
come to visit this year.
And
I'll give them a
they
very complicated
don't
order.
do
Thank you,
too
Matt.
good on,
I
like,
love
getting
you
the
so much
things
right now
right.
for telling me that.
Loud is entering a growth cycle of even greater increase in our dominance, market share, and consumer trust. As CEO, this gives me the freedom to bypass that redistribution of wealth,
Matt.
subsidizing an overpopulated pool of law school graduates hungry for
Matt, you've
fellow
got like
Americans
3 or
to
4
tear each other apart, especially in a
coffee and ice cream places in your area.
Intelligent, civilized life does not need lawsuits against good faith and fidelity. That remnants of that thought process lingered for any amount of time is still to this day illogical, especially in light of the most recent Supreme Court decision play acting an actual consideration that a Christian man in these United States might just have to violate his good conscience and gaze upon a figurine of 2 men
I just
standing
cut it.
atop
I
one of
just
his
splice it. It's like,
sacredly
yeah, and I think
inspired
somebody else
wedding
we know
cakes.
has had this argument. I just put the entirety of you and War Corpse debating about the fucking fat cakes for like, what was it, like 2 hours?
Yeah, but to be fair,
I know. We
I think
put
the
the
wedding
entire
cake
thing
thing was
anyway,
only
so it's
maybe
like
like 20
cut
minutes.
fucking MMA discussion, all that shit, and then it cuts back to us. We're like, yeah, man, that sure was stupid.
I suppose that exercise in trial mockery was good in that it exposed the 2 on the court who apparently have no cultural American connection to the Constitution or the Bill of Rights and thought raping a man's sacred thought and livelihood would be perfectly okay, and golly, maybe they could just handcuff him and shut his business down if he didn't comply. Having been a literal victim of that tyranny and attempt, I am thankful we at least now know who the 2 are, and will sadly forever read their opinions both archived and in a remaining term in such light. Is it possible to issue a vote of no common sense confidence in those dissents? Dissents? What the fuck did I say that? Kind of sort of like those occult forces who wanted to destroy us by separating me from my Christian husband and boilerplate
Sorry, I
restrain me
muted
from
to
my
cough.
daughter.
My rips were
Damn
being
it.
silenced. I was very upset.
It's those occultists. They don't want the truth. You know what? I'm going to be honest. I'm shocked she has not brought
She's
up
talking
gays.
about him right now, Matt.
She did.
Did she?
Yeah. Attempting to continually rape my sacred thoughts and images and suggestions of my Christian husband of over 30 years dating or having sex with random females who have no respect or consideration for our marriage, family, its sacredness and honor. Or, if that wasn't enough, expecting me because of all the assault, illegal sanctions, and intimidation to sell Loud to a foreign, literally foreign competitor.
This doesn't go into
You know
it
what?
in this,
I
but
could
reading
fix her.
through this again after not picking it up for a while. He sounds like an actual female cuck, right? Like, I'm not crazy. I mean, she's going hard
Little bit,
into
yeah.
like, oh yeah, they just
Like,
want me
she's
to think
fantasizing
about
a
it
lot
all the
about her husband
time.
fucking other women.
Deep in thought.
Yeah, I'm constantly being assaulted with images and suggestions of him having fun with other women and fucking them and dating them and fucking... As if I was just some mindless, weak female who only expected man to do everything and had no education, business acumen, budgeting, or everyday common sense.
I love it. Yeah, apparently I'm some stupid
The Mouthpieces
bitch
are
who has no common
$10,000 to
sense.
continue to build.
By the way, the Mouthpieces
secure-
are $10,000.
To continue to build, secure the Fortress Foundation and pay our production management and workers who did what they could to stand by me and our family when our Christian leader was compromised.
Now, what kind of
and walked
compromise
away
could
from
he
them,
have
their
got?
families, their mortgages, and assets too. And also to rebuild my life
Hold on.
To
Ain't
establish
no
home
homo
ownership
are
again.
they?
To actually have enough to travel. Preferably without a security detail. To see my daughter and grandchildren for the first time in over 5 years. And pray they can see their grandparents, me, and my humble,
So she's saying
restored
that
Christian husband
her
as a
husband
team
and
again.
one of her kids was like completely willing to cut her out. Yeah, gee, the occult's powers are very tempting.
Instead of accidentally running into him while grocery shopping with a mindless, thoughtless, ignorantly invading disgrace of feminine honor and virtue tagging along his side, that is a violation of not only my sacred thought, but the innocent thoughts and example to my
It's just at some
sweetheart
point here,
Christian
and
children
then my
and
husband's
grandchildren as well.
succubus infected me with the demon of menopausius, which turned me into a raving lunatic.
He made my pussy dry and my
Curse of
flesh hot
sand.
as fire.
We have 4 grandchildren, and one more on the way. 2 of those grandchildren I have not even met in person yet, held in my arms, or nuzzled, and shared sweet smiles and giggles, because of the illegal and unconstitutional destruction of marriages and families and the subsequent inane
And you probably shouldn't
restrictions
get married
placed
to it,
against
baby.
my good faith, honor, and fidelity. That's the cost. Sworn on public oath to protect and defend their faithful wife, children, and homeland. If that destruction is not turned back now in the hearts and minds of Americans, there will be a day. The good news is it won't matter, because if no one can afford a $150 mouthpiece, no one can pay for instruments or marching band fees or drum corps tour or symphony concert halls, and won't ever be able to even fathom how any of those good uplifting effects and rewards of decency, honor, and fidelity ever existed.
Here's the problem with this lady's threat, and I'm sorry, Lindy, I know we just started reading it and I'm going to cut you off, but it's like this is actually on topic. You know what the problem with this is? With this lady's strategy? This might have worked. Might have. Big, giant quotation marks around might have. This might have worked in like the 2000s, maybe even the early 2010s. But the problem is she's doing this in 2018, a time when websites like Alibaba and Wish.com are widely fucking used. Look, lady, like, there's other options. You might make some really good ones, but if you're gonna fucking outprice the good ones, people will be like, well, what's the second best one? Or the third? Or who gives a shit? Why is my kid in fucking band practice? This is fucking... I'm not raising a little fat.
Matt, would you rather name
This lady
would
is
you rather
crazy.
name your son Mongo or Titty?
Anyways, continue, Lundy.
Would you rather name
Oh, what? Mongo.
Mongo's good. I like Titty too. That's a good name for a child.
That is a good name, but
I
I
think
love
Titty
the
could
names
work
that's
too.
like, this would be a good name to give to a retarded child. Titty
Little
actually
Titty.
would be really funny to name a retarded
He
child.
thinks his name's Timmy, and you scold him for it. Make him hold his hands under hot water. Bad Titty, bad.
It force you to eat nothing but French fries and candy for the first 10 years of your life for you only to have a B cup. And he's just like, Dad, I need
That's why I
need
sound like
some,
this.
some
Nutrition
vitamins.
deficit.
I need like a salad or something. I was born.
You
I
make
was
me
born
talk
normal.
like this, or you beat me.
You made me retarded.
I want to go.
Shut up, Gub Gub.
I want to go to school.
Now talk about how much you love trains.
I want to jerk off and play video games.
Eat your banana sundae.
You're gonna You're gonna bounce a ball into the wall in your own head, and you're gonna like it.
No, put on the sailor outfit.
All right, take us home.
Look, people, remember, this is what you're wishing. Anytime
That's
somebody
what you're
makes
gonna
fun of a retarded person, you're like, oh, don't do that. You'll get one. It's
thought
like,
you were gonna
you're
say,
wishing
remember,
them.
this is what
You're
happens
wishing
when
that
you ask
person
where
on
the
me,
new
not the
episode
other
of
way
podcast
around.
is. Every time
I
we
abuse a
get on
mentally retarded
Facebook
boy.
Marketplace and put candy for $1, and they come a running.
Yeah, then we see. You know what? Only the real goat heads in here know about the exclusive Red
Yeah,
Room
the goat
podcast
scroats
we
out
do
there.
occasionally.
The goat heads. Charging $10,000 for a stainless steel mouthpiece that will stand the test of time, provides years of dependable service, is a much better value for America. And for those who chose to invest in and nurture such proven real-world leadership, honor, and fidelity, there's your dynamic economics course. Much love, Mama Murphy.
I think I actually know less now than when we started.
Oh God, she was active as of December last year. It's just writing,
Oh yeah.
Good.
just writing gay fucking
I'm
poetry.
happy knowing she's still out there fighting the good fight.